Okay, so now we're going to look at a second example. This time it's going to be x minus 3 equals 5, which is going to be a little bit different than the previous example because now we're going to be looking at a minus instead of addition. There's a couple of things we need to talk about beforehand, though. One of the things we're going to be using today is something called isolating the variable and then doing the inverse operation. Now, we talked about isolating the variable in the last video, which we're going to do again. Because remember, we always want to get x by itself. That's always the first thing to do. So I'm going to drag my circle and I'm going to put it around my x again because I want to make sure that I'm isolating it by keeping it all together. So it's going to be by itself right now. But the problem is this time we have a minus 3 next to our x that we need to get rid of. So we need to eliminate the minus 3. Now here's where the term inverse operation comes in. The word inverse is just a mathematical word we use to mean opposite. So inverse just means the opposite of something. In the last example that we did, we had the number plus 4, and we did the inverse operation of plus 4, which was minus 4, because the opposite of addition is subtraction. Well, this time we're going to go backwards. So the number we have now is minus 3. The inverse operation of subtraction would be addition. So to get rid of our minus 3, we do the inverse operation, which in this case would be plus 3. So I'm going to drag my plus and my 3 over so that I do a plus 3 underneath my minus 3, and those two things will cancel each other out. Now again, just like last time, if we want to do something on the left-hand side, we also have to do the same thing on the right-hand side. I added 3 to balance the left-hand side, so I'm also going to need to add 3 on the right-hand side. So I'm going to bring over my plus 3 over here. And now I have plus 3 on both sides, so we're good. Now let's just do some simple math, and we'll say 5 plus 3 gives me a total of 8. So I'll bring my 8 down here. So now here's the answer, 8. Once I do the inverse of my minus 3, I'm done with the minus 3, which means it's gone. So I'll bring my equal sign down next, because that's the next thing in my row. And now I've got x all by itself, so I can just drag x down here by itself over here. And so my answer is x equal 8. Now then, I can test this by plugging in the 8 with the original equation up here. 8 minus 3 does in fact give us 5, so we know we're correct. And this is going to be the solved equation.